All right. What's up, guys? It's been a long time. Still follow this place even after Rel's forgotten about you. No, I was actually on the kill stream last night for the Dark V uh, tribute episode. I recommend that if anybody missed it, definitely go check that out. Although it was unfortunate circumstances that caused the tribute. It was a good time. So definitely check it out. I think it was one of the, and I don't say this because I was on there, but I think it was one of the, I guess, classic Killstream episodes. I totally forgot to send out a notification on Twitter about the fact that I was streaming. Let me put that out there. Yeah, but it's been a while since I bothered to do anything related to the internet, so I'm not surprised that we don't have a full house here just yet. Honestly, I didn't even really plan anything. I just decided I'd come on for like an hour or so and just talk about some random stuff and see where that goes. And if it turns into a snore fest, I definitely don't blame you. You have a full house? Yeah, that sounds about right. Hey, Necro, what's up? Yeah, I'm trying to use the Restream chat viewer, which sometimes it's a little bit unreliable because it seems like it's delayed, but I'm able to finally access like all of the chats. I could do D Live now, Twitch and YouTube all in the same window, and that helps a lot. So yeah, that's hashtag not all men. Oh, that could be one of the things that we talk about. It's always funny. Hey, Blasto, how's it going? It's always funny when you see those posts. I actually get. I used to think like, you know, oh, just point out that their logic is basically the same as, what they usually do cry. But I think what it really is they actually they're not actually against generalizations about entire groups. They believe them. It's just that they believe, well, how to put this. All right. So think about it whenever they talk about one of their like sacred groups, that you can't say any type of criticism against. They have assumptions that come packed with those groups, even though that they'll tell others like, oh, you're racist or you're sexist if you make these assumptions. They go and make those very same type of assumptions. In their mind, if you are X, then you believe Y. You have to think this way, you have to vote this way, you have to do this, you have to support these groups, and if you don't, then you're out of the group. And that kind of leads it into, which I've talked about before, where it's like they think all this stuff is based on, they think it's all based on the group identities, when really, like, when you boil it down, it just comes down to ideology. My window's open, and apparently I guess it was like a really loud car or motorcycle going by. But yeah, I haven't been streaming much lately just because I haven't been able to use my window air conditioner unit because I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm developing pneumonia or something when I like leave it on at night and go to sleep and stuff. But then if I don't have it on, it's super hot in here because there's no other window. Kind of went into a little bit of a tangent, but I'm gonna try to stream more because I want to get I want to try to get the D Live partnership, and you have to. I think you have to stream at least 20 times on the D Live channel, and I imagine that would mean that all of your replays have to be up. I'm not 100% sure how that works. Maybe they just keep track of it in the background because I know the replays don't last forever. But I think if you have partnership, they stay up longer. I need to stream more. Yeah, I mean, my thing is like, I don't. I guess I'm doing this. I guess I'm doing this exactly what I was saying that I don't usually do. But it's hard to, for me anyway, to find like consistent things to put together, like say every evening for a show over and over and over. Um, yeah, it feels like things get stale pretty quick. So I mean, maybe like an every other day schedule or something like that. But I've said shit like that before, and I'm really awful at sticking to schedules. So why even bother making promises anymore, right? That's not it's not the way to go. But yeah, let me try to find. I feel like I at least screenshotted that post that Necro was just talking about, and it's always those dudes that they make those sweeping generalizations, and then they get all pissy when you respond to it. I can't even find. This is how organized I am. Okay, here we go. There it is. Let me see if the browser's correct. There it is. All right. First of all, I hate it when people talk like this too. When you can kind of tell that this person doesn't actually talk like this. They're just kind of doing it to sound cool. What y'all not all men idiots need to understand is that yes, it is all men. That's the reality women/woman presenting people have to live every day. Every man is a potential threat, even friends and family. You don't like being seen that way? Then fucking listen and do better. This is why I think posts like this are amazing, because my game is I always take men and then I switch it out with some group that they would get super pissed off by if you made the post the same way. I mean, just imagine doing that and the reaction that they would have towards this. Say you don't get to take a tragedy or someone's trauma or the oppression and fear they live with daily and make it about your fragile ego. Shut the fuck up and listen. Quite unlike this guy who's only making these tragedies and traumas about collecting likes on the internet. And as someone pointed out, call out your peers. Don't let this kind of behavior slide. If you turn a blind eye to other men, yes, even your friends and family, promoting this life-threatening behavior, you are complicit, and yes, you are all men. It's kind of weird, right? Kind of weird how all of a sudden a certain type of person, because you can lump them in with a group, suddenly has, complete responsibility along with that group. That doesn't fly for any other type of person, which is kind of interesting because they're always going on and on about like the whole solidarity thing, which, you would think that would go for both positives and negatives, but there's no rules here. It's just all for show. That's how it goes. But I love it because, I mean, it's supposed to be a man, right? And that would make him guilty. That would make him just as guilty. So he's a yes all men, right? I mean, I'm waiting for this guy's sexual assault allegations to come out as we speak. His name is Blackout Cosplay and he's not even black. Shame. Yeah, that's kind of messed up, right? I mean, what is that? That's is that cultural appropriation? Is that blackface? Can we get on his case about that? I just want to, it's always fun to find that one little thing that should be against their stupid ideology and then just harp on them for it and kind of mock them. They usually get annoyed and block you, but I guess that's part of the entertainment factor. But yeah, so I replied to this guy and I was just like, yeah, potential threat to women found, because it's always a guy, well, a lot of the times it's a guy making these posts, and then eventually it always comes out that it's like, oh yeah, this guy took part in the very behavior that they pretend to stand against, and it's so hypocritical and so stupid, and that it's just for show. It's like them trying to work out their guilt in real time, or maybe it's about hiding in plain sight. Like, no one will ever suspect me if I talk about how I'm anti this all the time. But I think it's gotten to the point where you could just be like, yeah, this dude's compensating for something. There's something going on here, and you have to Maybe you have to open up their closet door. I think my tweets broke him. Yeah, he blocked you, didn't he? I'm surprised I haven't gotten one yet, just because quite a few people have engaged with my response to him. So you think that that would highlight it in his notifications, but I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to what this dude's up to, aside from this post. And the another thing is the woman or women/woman presenting people. It's gotten to the point where they can't even say women. Like he's including men in here pretty much. So, I mean, if every man is a threat until they present as a woman, how come like everybody just doesn't start identifying as a woman, and then all of the world peace will overcome the globe? Like, what is this? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, because just because you so-called present as a woman, that wouldn't suddenly get rid of some deep-seated proclivity for harassing other women. It's just stupid. It doesn't even make any sense. He has a deep and rich backstory that can only unlock with 100 charisma. I just think that all these these nerd types, this cosplay, this anime, as much as I even like some of that stuff, it seems like the people that are into these hobbies, or at least the infiltrators that have entered this hobby, I don't know, they see this as their moment to be a hero or something. And it's just silly to me. It's like, what does dressing up as, a comic book character or an anime character have to do with some stupid ass, ideology or politics? Or it has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with like paying tribute to something that you enjoy, a hobby that you engage with that's supposed to be for entertainment, but instead we have to turn all entertainment into political mouthpieces. No, yeah, I guess it might have come off that way, but I was more talking about just being into the actual source material rather than the people that play dress up, because most of the time I can see through it, and it's like, I know people say that, they're expressing their love. I honestly feel like a lot of the people that have gotten into it now have just really gotten into it for money. Because, they could just take some photo sets, slap that shit on Patreon, and cash in, and it's like the easiest job in the world. And, there is some art to the whole cosplay thing, in the sense that you do have the people that actually, have sewing skills and, crafting skills, and they make props and they make their outfits. And that, of course, is... That's like a whole different game to me, because that's like you're putting in the effort to create something from scratch. It's not like you ordered the shit off of eBay and decided to have your cucked out boyfriend take a bunch of photos for you so that you can sell them to desperate dudes on the internet, which that's going to get me into a topic that I hadn't even planned on talking about. But I mean, I think we're all aware by now of the whole gamer girl bathwater thing. I mean, am I living in an alternate reality? Am I lost somewhere where where this is just normal and acceptable now? What happened to standards? Like, why are we wasting money? Why are we propping people up that just try to appeal to like the lowest dregs of society? And I used to kind of feel almost bad for people that get taken in by that shit, like the actual, lonely dumbasses that are like, oh, maybe if I support her, she'll pay attention to me. No, that's never going to happen. But now it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, you idiots, all you're doing is enabling this stupidity, basically ensuring yourself, that you're going to be alone forever, and then propping up this person that they're not doing anything new, by the way. I mean, you could find these degenerates selling their garbage. I mean, how long has it been where we saw like people selling their dirty socks and underwear and all that disgusting stuff? So it's not a new concept, but they're like, oh, she's a marketing genius. It's like, no, she's not. She could put up anything and it would sell. Anything. Absolutely anything. There's no standard for these people. I just don't think that that's marketing genius. You're basically just targeting morons. Momo-kun. Let's see, wait. Don't you remember that story where that stripper started dating her best tipper and got married? Oh yeah, that totally happened. No, that never happens. I don't know. But these situations are just, they're so stupid. And I don't understand how we got to the point where this is the type of stuff that we're putting on a pedestal and defending. And then, you know what really, it's like real galaxy brain shit here that just turns my mind to macaroni and cheese. You'll see the people that are defending this person selling this and framing it as the people who are opposed to it are incels or virgins. It's like, wait a second. I think the roles have been severely reversed here. That makes absolutely no sense. No sense at all. Because if you were somebody that was actually in the proximity of real people, there's no way that you would be paying for these disturbing little trinkets that really don't mean anything. And you know what? I was just thinking, like, nobody thinks in long term. It's like everybody wants this short-term gratification. And, I mean, just think of it this way. You're a guy. You do this shit. And then one day you actually do get lucky enough to meet somebody. I mean, imagine having to tell somebody that you actually developed, real emotions for, that this, that at your lowest point, you purchased somebody's bathwater. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would just be like, well, you don't have to tell. Like, that's just stupid. But I think if more people thought that way, like, you know what? I'm going to be accountable to something bigger someday. Then they would go ahead and think, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, this isn't a good idea. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it's going to affect me in some way at a later time in life. Maybe I'll feel better at some point and have a little confidence and won't have to throw money at stupid people on the internet that don't really provide anything of value to my life except for like a fleeting moment when they say hello to me in a chat room. Like, it blows my mind. I'm going to be judged by God someday. Really, if you think about it, I mean, even if they thought in those terms, but that, we know that's a lost concept as well. I don't know. I can't get behind it. People are free to do that shit, but that doesn't mean it's genius. That doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean that it should be encouraged or that people should take part in it. I mean, just imagine. I want all these guys. I want all of these guys to go and, like, maybe consider, like, every time I have the urge to donate to some bitch's Patreon, I'll just put it in a jar instead. And then maybe eventually they'll have a nice amount of money built up and they could go on a vacation. They could buy a video game. They could buy flowers for their real girlfriend. They could do something of value. It's sad. It's really, really fucking sad. And I think that the stupid shit of like, oh, I'm just buying it for a meme, bro. Like, no, dude, you're taking part in enabling the stupid behavior, because even if you're buying it just for a joke, which, okay, guys, nice cover, you're still enabling that behavior by the person that's selling it. If this person put that up and nobody bought it and just made fun of the bitch, it'd go away. It would go away. But we can't. We can't do that. We have to be like, oh, somebody is it happens to be a woman and we have to blindly support them because apparently everything they do is perfect. No, bullshit. You can be an idiot no matter what you are, and you can be punished for being an idiot no matter what you are. People now are a product of social media. They're prone to do dumb stuff. And that is going to remind me, sadly, of the all this crap where, well, I mean, maybe it's just being brought more to light just because of the video that kind of went viral with the dumb girl licking the ice cream and then putting it back in the fucking freezer. But it seemed like after that, there were a lot of copycats. And then I saw other videos where it's like, oh, here's this dude doing this in the kitchen of a fast food joint or a restaurant or whatever. And it's like, it's the degradation of like trust. And I mean, you can't have a functioning civilization without like the base level of trust where everybody interacts with each other. And, you know, there's kind of this unwritten social contract. Obviously, these things are against the law as well, but there's also just that level of, and I almost hate to use the term just because the way it gets manipulated these days, but there's that just the level of decency, right? Where, you know, like, I can go out in public and, you know, there's going to be all these different people around me, but we're all going to kind of respect each other's boundaries and, you know, just do what we're going to do. Maybe say hello to somebody, wave, you know, and we'll just go to the grocery store and we'll pick up the food that we need to buy. And because we live in a high trust society, we know that nobody has tampered with it and we can go home and eat all the Blue Bell that we want. But no, they had to ruin that too. So now I saw photos of one of the Walmarts. I think it was a Walmart. And they had around the ice cream containers that don't have the seal, I guess. They had the things that they put on the tags that they put on electronics that you have to get taken off with the special tool. And I'm just thinking, like, this is where we're headed, where, you know, we're supposed to be so advanced, we're supposed to be in the future, we're supposed to be enlightened, and above all, the civilized people, right? And yet we're degrading back to a point where we can't even go into the store and get ice cream without wondering if somebody jammed their disgusting herpes-ridden tongue into the container. And I just, it kind of blows my mind, the stupid things that people will do for attention on social media. Like, nobody wants to pay attention to the fact that maybe all this social media stuff and the way that people are like, you know, you have to be connected to be a valid member of the world, is kind of making people feel like they're not getting the attention that they need or deserve. And so therefore they have to keep escalating and escalating and escalating to do that shit that will get them, you know, they'll get them those likes, get them those retweets, or even get people ranting at them. I mean, I know that, you know, it's all in somewhat good fun for me, but even when I see a stupid post, you know, sometimes you get that urge deep down to just be like, yeah, you know what? I want to say the most outrageous fucking thing to that person just to burn their ass. And so I kind of understand where that escalation feeling comes from, but I think there's limits. Like, of course, there's a world of a difference between saying stupid, outrageous shit and then going into a grocery store, filming yourself, and, you know, doing this creepy shit to food. And the best part is they're so dumb, they don't even seem to understand that what they're doing is illegal, or if they do understand that it's illegal, they still go and post it on social media because, I don't know, maybe they feel like they're not going to get caught, or maybe they're somehow immune to that kind of thing. But they're not. You know, you're going to get caught. You're going to get put away. I personally, in a way, as much as I hate seeing people doing that, I also like the fact that they're so dumb that they'll post their crimes to social media just to make the job on the police easier. The cops can come in, get the guy out of there, throw him in the slammer. Away with these people. There's a video of employees taking a bath at a Burger King. What did they do? Like climb into the kitchen sink or something? Burger Boy bathwater. Yeah, I don't know if I want to take the time to dig up the post, but I did the whole parody version of that, and we did gamer. What did I say? I think I said gamer dude piss or something. And no, I didn't. I didn't actually piss in a container. I just went and put like yellow Gatorade inside of a little vial. It was a while ago, so I gotta keep scrolling here, but maybe I'll get to it eventually. I probably should have went to the photos only. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So, you know, that if that's something that people are interested in, of course. There we go. Stretch was dehydrated. Man, if your piss looks like that, you need to go to the hospital because you're like radioactive or something. I really want them to get put away for the whole 20 years to make an example out of them. I mean, I highly doubt it'll happen, but I don't necessarily disagree, just because why should you be shielded for being an absolute moron? I mean, I heard that girl was pretty young, like 17 or something. I don't know how true that is. I didn't look into the story anymore because it's just it all kind of blurs together and feels like those situations where it's like every day there's something that the internet is telling you to be outraged about, and it just, I mean, most of the time you see that angle from the social justice crowd, but you know, you do see it kind of from all sides in a way as well, and I don't particularly like it. That's why most of the time I try, like, if I'm not making what I think is like a coherent point, which sometimes I still do with humor mixed in, but if I'm being completely serious, I usually try to like compose it in an articulate manner. But if I see like something so stupid and I just, you know, I'll make fun of it just to keep it lighthearted, because it really does get to the point where it's like every day somebody wants you to feel a certain way. And I just kind of feel like all of it is very, very manipulated. Now, obviously, you could go outside and you can find morons like this. I mean, the videos of the Antifa roaming the street are obviously coming from somewhere, right? But most of the time, you can go outside fairly safely and, you know, not encounter any of that retarded shit. So the whole social media angle, I feel like it's really insanely divisive, because that's where people go to like pile everything on. That's where we've decided now. It's like social media is now the new place for activism. And obviously, I think it's because, you know, people they want that instant gratification. They're kind of lazy. They don't want to really put any effort in. But with the whole social media aspect, you feel like you're given the illusion that you're doing something. Oh, by the way, stuff I ordered from Prime Day got here today. I didn't buy anything. I couldn't find anything. I thought it was a really weak sale. I mean, maybe it wasn't for people that needed different things, but I kind of would have wanted like another external hard drive, I guess. But I saw that you said something like you bought a mattress topper or something like that. Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing that we didn't really get into, but that whole thing where what was it, pedantic romantic or something. I hate even saying that person's username. It's just so absolutely cancerous that it drives me nuts. Let me see if I can find the post, because I know I had it. I gotta scroll way up. Oh wait, here we go. So like I said, as we were just saying, the whole activism aspect, Amazon workers are walking out this Monday and Tuesday, Amazon's big Prime Day. Given that Twitch is owned by Amazon, in solidarity with the workers, I won't be streaming these days. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to that. I won't be streaming these days. And I encourage all of you to work with me. Please participate and please spread the word. Funny how this person supposedly supports workers. And, you know, they're low wages, maybe, they're long working hours. I don't know what it is that they're complaining about today. It's always something. But if you really supported them, why would you be using the services that are exploiting their labor? And I hate stuff like this. It's like, yeah, you can boycott the company if you want, but go all the way. Like, what is this half-assed shit where you're just going to be like, yeah, well, you know, I really support the workers, so I'm not going to be streaming for 2 whole days. But hey, I'll see you Wednesday with regular content. Donate to my Patreon. Don't forget to give me your Twitch Prime sub. Like, come on. Get out of here. You're still taking the money from Twitch. You know you are. You're still taking the money from your Amazon affiliates. And I don't have a problem with that. But don't pretend to be all, like, anti. Oh, and it was funny as hell because this idiot went and, like, I guess they saw my post. I mean, and to be fair, you know, I didn't at them, so I did screenshot, but I did leave their screen name there so that if somebody wanted to look up the post, they could very easily do so. But this moron goes and, like, cuts my username out of the post and then replies to it. So I thought that was pretty funny. And oddly enough, there weren't an insane amount of comments on it. I think this person has quite a larger following than I do, and there weren't that many comments on it. Now, there were a decent amount of, like, likes and whatever, maybe like 30 retweets or something. I think it had like 400 likes, whatever. That's not the point. But it was strange how there wasn't much in the way of comments. But then I found it because Flamenco and Gator replied to it, so then I jumped in and replied to it. Of course, I never got a reply when I pointed out that he was taking part in exploiting their labor. Yeah, I think supposedly this person wants to be a girl. I don't know what the story is. I don't pay attention. I can't listen to their videos just because it's like, oh, I'm trying to talk very feminine, but it's obvious that my voice can't do this. I don't have it in me. Let's see. They shouldn't use it ever again if they feel that way about it. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like, why, if you really, really were like, oh, the poor workers, you would take your money completely elsewhere. Scaled down using Amazon products ever since my awful experience interviews in there years ago. I mean, mostly for me, I just use it, like, for convenience. You know, obviously, it's not always convenient, because if there's something you can get locally, then you probably should. But for me, I can't get a lot of stuff local that they sell on there, because a lot of stores have closed down here. Maybe that's even part of, like, you know, a product of having more and more online stores. Fun fact, pedantic romantic in person is scared all the time, probably because they weren't behind a computer screen. Yeah, you know, I saw the photo, and I was like, wow, I could sneeze and that person would go flying out of the room. It's just the virtue signaling. That's pretty much all it is. It's the virtue signaling. So I just made the joke about, like, the paint dry. And this, I somehow in the comments, oh, it was because Flamenco posted on his own timeline about the ICE, the attack on the ICE officers or whatever, where the guy was throwing bombs, or I don't know what they were. They said incendiary devices. They didn't specify exactly. Oh, I got a notification here. Let me go and check that, because I can't see it on the screen. Damn it. I didn't expect anything, so I didn't have the actual YouTube stream pulled up, but let me do that right now. Alright, I'm going. Oh, don't want to hear my voice. It's bad enough you guys have to, right? Okay, here we go. Anime Outsiders going to a dock on Mother's Basement, and if it's as crazy as DC Douglas, it will be really good. Oh man, that would be hilarious. And thank you, Guns Down Inhale, for the $5 donation. It is much appreciated. Uh, okay, so as I was saying, yeah, so Flamenco made a post about the guy that was killed by the officers who, when he attacked the ice, I don't know what it was exactly. Was it a, well, whatever. The point is, he was killed doing, being a terrorist, basically. Let's call it what it is. And he he just laughed at it. That was his reaction. And then, of course, Pedantic replied like, "Oh, I'm not going to take somebody seriously who laughs about this." And something to that effect. I don't have the post, obviously. But I was just like, yeah, he must have missed the part where it said incendiary devices, because he's making it sound like this person was killed innocently, which of course is almost never the case. They always choose to defend like the absolute worst of the worst. It's like, yeah, you could find some people that were maybe actually unjustly killed, but no, let's defend the terrorists, because that's a good idea. They're out of their minds. So yeah, the only thing they replied to was like, "Oh, actually, that's a good thing." And this was after I posted my real reply to this. We're getting way off track, but my point is they chose to ignore my reply to the actual post at hand, and instead just replied, "Oh, that's a good thing," when I said it was, that person wasn't innocent. They attacked someone, and apparently it's a good thing to do. But I was just like, "Yeah, you're a nut job," and that ended that interaction. Surprisingly, it wasn't blocked or anything, but we'll get there someday. Let me go back to the Restream chat so I can see other stuff. What photo? I must see the fear. I don't know. It's somewhere on their profile. I really don't want to go look at it. DC Avocad for that tweet that got him banned. Well, I don't even know what got him banned. I just heard about it because he blocked me over something stupid, and then because I would, poke fun at him. So of course he had to get me out of his hair. Like that dude people fund to bail for just so he could go back home and kill his girlfriend. Wait, that was a thing that happened? I must have missed that story, but sounds about Clown World. It's just so absurd. Well, I think that the person, they were saying that person identified as a woman or something. So of course, they weren't happy about that part. They were like, "Oh, he's still, look at me, misgendering left and right." Oh, that's another thing that I thought of, where it's like, people were actually posting, "Oh, we need to not dead name this hero," and shit like that. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a second. Person's out there trying to kill somebody. And then they get killed as a result. And then we're supposed to worry about their fucking pronouns and their name? What? What is this? I don't know. For me, it's just like, if you go that off the rails, I don't need to respect anything about you. And it's really insane, because it's just kind of gotten to the point where it's like, wait a second. The whole point of insulting people is to hurt their feelings, is to say shit that is going to get under their skin. So putting limits on that, like, oh, we must at least respect their pronouns, it's like, why? That's the thing that's going to get to them the most. I don't know. And it's obviously silly, because they never follow their own rules. They're always the first people to know, point out somebody's gender or somebody's color or some shit like that. So it's like, why? Why do I have to play by a different rule set? What? So they don't call me racist or sexist or Nazi or whatever stupid label they come up with. They're going to call me those things anyway. So why do I care about your dumb standard that I don't even agree with? Reminds me of people who defended Sarah Knight. Oh, geez. Is that person even still around? People have been generally defending panelists as long as they have the right opinions. Yeah, that shit is weird to see. I mean, I guess in a way it's not strange, because they kind of, it's sort of their habit, like, right? Like, as long as you have the certain mindset, and then where they're kind of pushing for the idea of like, oh, it's it's a sexual orientation, so since obviously apparently every sexual orientation aside from straight must be respected, we have to go and respect the pedophiles. It's like, what are you even doing right now? That's kind of mind-blowing, because these are the people that are all up in arms about children in camps, right? But apparently, taking advantage of children, adults taking advantage of children sexually is somehow okay. I don't understand the logic, kind of like how I don't understand the logic of, it's like they're all pro-abortion, but they're like, we need to save the migrant children. And it's weird because they kind of try to flip that argument around against the conservative side, where they're just kind of like, oh, these guys care about children all the way up until they're, out of the womb. It's like, well, wait a minute. First of all, that's just ridiculous. The argument is not, I don't care about children. It's or it's like these are people whose parents brought them here, and they don't belong here by law, so they should go back to, wherever it is that they need to go, or go through legal avenues to do so. And at this point, I feel like I'm kind of less and less, even more of the like, well, as long as it's legally. It's like, yeah, I do agree that, if you follow the law, you do it the right way, you should be able to move. But I also feel like we're getting kind of off the rails as far as the amount of people and the way that it affects things, whether or not anybody actually wants to admit that that's true. I mean, I really feel like at a point, it's like, okay, you've been charitable enough. Why is it that this is really the only place in the world that's kind of expected to do that? I don't know. It's strange. The whole thing's strange to me. It's not something that I ever used to really think much about, because you kind of get sold, growing up, you kind of get sold that idea. It's like, oh, America, the melting pot. Anybody can come here and build a life for themselves. It's like, yeah, that's kind of true in a sense. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of nuance there that those kind of adages ignore, but it's, there's a speck of truth. But I think there's obviously also negative aspects that certain people don't want to accept. Problem with the right is we spend too much time trying to own the libs with all this over rationality. You just need to say no, abortion is wrong, period. Yeah, 1 in 3 were proven to not be related to the adult accompanying them through DNA tests. Now, I did see that headline. I didn't look at the fucking the article, but I did see that, and I was like, wow, I wouldn't really be all surprised if that was true, because they're kind of just, the opposition is kind of just like, we need to let them all through, and so to me, it's like, well, whenever somebody's that like gung-ho and doesn't want to look into anything that might go against that, I feel like that's when it's time to look and see like what's going on here. Maybe there's something more to this. And there, of course, if that is completely accurate, like I said, I haven't looked myself yet, but I wouldn't be surprised, just because what do you expect? Not everybody is going to be this noble person just trying to, save themselves and try to build this dream life. I mean, that certainly doesn't seem to be the way that it's going lately. And it's such a conflicting narrative. It's like, wait a minute. Is America the most hateful country on the planet? Or is it the place that every person tries to, as they say, risk their life just to get into? Because how stupid would they be if they were coming somewhere where they would just be hated and, killed, or whatever other crazy narratives they come up with? It doesn't make sense to me. You got to make up your mind. You got to pick one. It can't be both. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect either way, but it's obviously not the worst thing in the universe. Anyone here going to Area 51? Okay, so I've seen a lot of people talking about that, and I thought it was just like some stupid joke. That's all it is, right? Because now it's like the news is picking it up, and that makes me feel like maybe they're just too stupid and they're kind of taking a meme seriously. But then I was thinking, wait a minute. People are copycatting each other licking ice cream in a store. Maybe they really are dumb enough to go to Area 51. It's been a while since the last stream, hasn't it? It has. It has been a very long time. We had to let them in because we're so hateful. That's how you know they're full of it. They risk death willing to come to a concentration camp. That's such manipulative language, too, that kind of just takes any and all, sense of empathy away. I'm just like, I don't feel sorry for you because you're lying about the conditions. You're making it sound so much worse than it is for political points. And then, they're always talking about like, oh, so-and-so person died trying to get here, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that might be unfortunate, but those are also the things that an adult person who is going on an insanely long journey has to take into account. Like, why is it that all personal responsibility is removed from these people like they're complete retards, but yet somehow we also have to treat them as equal? It's like you can't have it both ways. Are they equal and, have like personal responsibility and an agency to make their own choices? Or are they absolutely retarded and we need to protect them at all times? Oh no. I don't even think I'm going to read that out loud. If Sam Hyde is going to Area 51, I will go. I don't know if, again, like, if people are really going, they're going to get shot, and it's not going to be fun. AOC is not as stupid as she portrays herself, in my opinion. She's just a distraction and agitator. Yeah, I mean, look, the things that idiot says are obviously inflammatory and meant to spark outrage in people, and I think they like... I mean, they pull it anyway, but I think they like having that angle of like, oh, this WOC is being harassed. And it's like, yeah, you're just a pawn. You're not in the position you're in because you earned it. You're a pawn. You are a pawn because you have the right identity that can be used to create more and more political outrage. And it's just like, how does it feel? How does it feel being a mannequin? Here's your breadcrumbs, bitch. Here's your breadcrumbs. That's how I see it. It's like, how can you have any self-respect? Natural selection. Oh, don't say that. Oh no. We can't have nature, pesky things like nature coming into this conversation. That's dangerous thinking. But it just doesn't make any sense. If people get shot at Area 51, it will be entertaining for me. I'll get the popcorn. Who's getting the soda? I don't drink soda, damn it. I've met people like AOC. She's retarded. I try not to pay attention. Like, I really try not to listen to anything that person does or says, just because it's always so stupid. It's the worst. I mean, like, the whole thing of just even stupid things like pretending not to know what a garbage disposal is. Come on. I've never lived in a place with a garbage disposal in the sink, and even I know what it is. So don't tell me that you don't know what a garbage disposal is. Scratch, if you Naruto run, you have a smaller hitbox and you move faster than the bullets. Oh, that's clearly how that works. I was thinking, though, maybe, I kind of feel bad. Like, these are all alien enthusiasts, right? I kind of understand the interest where it's like, yeah, I want to know if maybe there's hidden truths and hidden technologies and shit like that. But on the other hand, if you are dumb enough to try to create a mob to break into a government facility, oh, you're stupid. Come on, these guys are supposed to be like X-Files fans. Don't you know there's a right way to do these things? All my garbages. Exactly, she's playing the dumb bimbo angle to distract and agitate. Yeah, well, I guess they have their talents, huh? But I think that whole Area 51 thing is just a joke, right? I mean, think about it. They're talking about the Naruto run. There can't. Please tell me that we haven't fallen so fucking far that people actually believe that the run is gonna work. Does Shin Gokai Red have a YouTube, like a YouTube channel? I don't know. Maybe. I just recognize the Twitter handle. It's in the okay. Wait, that I'm getting behind. In the desert, the best home for illegal aliens. Yes, Area 51. Maybe the funny thing is all the concentration camp protesters. You know, you could probably convince them that when you say illegal alien, you're not talking about the space kind, and so they'll be compelled to go protest at Area 51. I joke, but sometimes a good shit show is just what you need. Everyone has already forgotten about Epstein case. I haven't read much about it or anything, but I assume when I see things like that, I assume that they unfortunately probably won't go as far as they should go. Is Destiny a good debater? I mean, if you like people that, you know, are just fucking like pseudo intellectual agitators that jerk themselves off to their audience about how smart they are, then I guess. I don't like that guy. He's really annoying, and just the dumbest takes. It's like, why? Did he have a fake passport? Proto Mario. Oh, did we talk? Oh no, we didn't talk about that yet. I mean, not that it's an important topic for me, because I'm not really even interested in like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff anymore. I haven't been for quite some time. I mean, I did watch I didn't watch the new movies, like the CGI with Megan Fox or whatever. I didn't see that shit. I didn't watch those. I saw the one that was like CGI animated, but I think it was just called TMNT. I thought that was okay. And then, of course, the first two live action ones from the 90s. And I guess when I was like a really young kid, the cartoon, I mean, if you go back and watch it now, it's goofy as hell. I don't think it aged well. It doesn't really appeal to me at this point in life, but the fucking female turtle thing, the female turtle that looks like, I'm fucking like stumble on my words all of a sudden, but let's see, female turtle that looks like Chester from Linkin Park. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty funny observation. Let me see if I can find the post real quick. I'm sure I can, because I don't know how this happens. It's always like, I feel like I make a really innocuous, Twitter post, and then it blows up, and I'm just like, wait, why? How come this is catching on? So you never know. You just never know what's going to hit it with people. I mean, it doesn't matter either way, but it's just funny, because I was thinking the other day where it's like, my follower count would always hit like, it would go from, ironically enough, it would go from like 1488 to like 1490 something, and then it would always drop back down. And I don't know if that's like consequence of people that follow me get banned or shit like that, or maybe maybe they just don't like the spicy takes, whatever. That's not the point. But then this happened like a couple days after I was thinking about that, and then all of a sudden, like, I broke 1,500, and I think I'm on the way to like 16, and like, why are people just following over this one tweet? So this IGN dude, they're advertising the turtle on IGN. Then this dude, B Hunt, maybe B Cunt, his fucking post. Imagine being upset about a fictional character. Now, this is somebody that works with IGN in some capacity. I think it said like social media producer or some shit like that. So maybe he's not exactly a game journalist, but he's connected to that industry. He works for the company, and here he is saying, imagine being upset about a fictional character. So if you think about this, he just, insulted everybody that he works with. Because that's all that they fucking do. That is all they do. That's all game journalists do. I was considering putting together a video just based off of this, the imagine being upset about a fictional character, and then finding like a shit ton of headlines where game journalists create faux outrage over fiction. That's like pretty much their bread and butter at this point. Nobody pays attention to them for actual gaming content. It's always some bullshit that they're telling you to be mad about. So yeah, I said that to him. Then he was like, if you think about it, the introduction of a female Ninja Turtle is pretty dang cool move. You aren't a little bitch. So I pointed out the 1997 show. Like, I know it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but my point was to demonstrate that it's not a new thing. This guy's going off like it's the most revolutionary, cool new concept, and it's just simply not a new idea. And of course, I got the old block for it, but imagine being upset about a fictional character. Just imagine. Imagine. It's like, you don't have to imagine. You're around those people all the time. All the time. It's like, how dumb are you? How dumb? Oh, man. It's wild. What a world. This is where we're at. I don't know. Those turtles were on an episode of Power Rangers. Yeah, there was a crossover or something like that. It wasn't the greatest thing ever. Well, yeah, Honka Bunga, dude. I guess. That's just... I don't know. These people they have no self-awareness. And I think that the thing is, it's like, you look at the ratio of people that you could find that are actually mad about this versus people that are claiming, incels mad, and you'll see that there's more people saying that people are mad than there are people that are actually mad. From what I could see, most of the people were not mad. They were in fact just saying, oh, it's kind of, the origin story is a little weak. I don't really think that the turtle fits well with the theme of the naming scheme and the fact that she seems to be specializing in like more than one weapon. It's like, that's not how it's been. So yeah, it's changing things up. I mean, maybe change is, obviously not necessarily always a bad thing, but when you follow a series that's been around for that long, there are certain expectations and maybe certain rules within the world. And yeah, it's just kind of breaking that. And I feel like, let me see if I can find that as well. Gator pointed out that this person, it's actually like this weird self-insert situation of a fan art character. Not sure if I can find it, because apparently there's more replies than I thought here. Did they block it? Huh. Let me try to find it in notifications, which is also going to be a chore since apparently they are still going crazy. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I guess it's a little bit humorous, but is it really worthy of so many retweets? Oh yeah, and the origin story. Well, let me do that while we're right here, because I've got it right in front of me. Apparently, this is the origin story. Leonardo gave a woman a blood transfusion and accidentally turned her into a turtle, and it's making my bones hurt. That's a really weird origin story. Is this turtle going to have a shell? Why would that happen? I mean, look, obviously it's, turtles walking around with ninja masks and weapons, so you have to suspend your disbelief, but it's a little strange. And I pointed out, like, that doesn't even look like a woman. It looks like a teenage boy or something. It's just strange. And if you go to the full image, there's a human being right there. So I mean, you mean to tell me that a turtle matched blood types with a human being and so therefore turned her into a turtle, but the human being that was actually there didn't match? Like, I don't know. Like I said, okay, obviously it's fiction. You have to suspend your disbelief, but it just doesn't. It seems like it's not living up to the rule. It looks like Eminem. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Uh, okay. Now back to the other post that I was looking for, and then I think we might. Okay, funniest part. Here we go. Here's Gator's tweet. All right, and he says, the funniest part is apparently the yellow turtle is the author's self-insert fan fiction from DeviantArt. All right, let's check this out. If Jennika, the fifth turtle in IWD or IDW's TMNT comic book, looks and feels like somebody's DeviantArt OC, that's because that's what she is. Here we go. IDW artist Sophie, formerly Ross Campbell, created Yellow Bandana as her, formerly his, self-insert on DA years ago and repurposed the character for IDW. Here we go. A little scroll. Weird name. Apparently, the name used to be Artemisia, which is actually a better name than Jennika. But yeah, this description. Artemisia is the shy worrywart, but also affectionate turtle. With people, she is warm and perceptive, but her self-doubt and worrisome nature can keep her at arm's length, and she is skittish with strangers. Artie is also an attentive listener and very understanding. She prefers to stay home. But what pronouns does she prefer? Oh, I guess it would be she, right? Who knows? You can never tell with these people. But that was just funny. So it's like, yeah, let's hope that it doesn't go like go full Tumblr. But then you learn the source, and it's like, oh, that's probably not going to end well, is it? So then you're like, well, how many issues before the comic gets canceled? I don't know. We'll see. Oh, man. But I went a little bit longer than I thought I would. I'm probably going to go cut it here. And it's been fun. I had absolutely no plans for topics, so managed to find some stuff to talk about. I'm not going to do the usual sign off and be like, I'm going to stream more, guys. I'm going to stream more. I will stream when I stream. You will get notifications on any of the channels that you have subscribed to. I will always post it on Twitter, so if you follow me there, you'll always know when I go live. I appreciate everybody coming out. It was actually a lot more than I thought it would be, so that's cool. All right, guys. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night.